Well, thank you guys for coming out today and supporting me, as y'all always do. So what I wanted to do for my 38th birthday, I wanted to focus more on like I know passion projects. So instead of like investing in like a party, which I still may have a party. Instead of investing in like a party, I wanted to invest in me. And I've talked about doing like a podcast for a little while now. So I have a few different segments lined up, but I wanted to touch on like the things that are, I guess, priority and important to me in my life right now. So of course, girlfriends, family, my profession, which is real estate, property management, and entrepreneurship. And so when I think about just people that I look up to, I think the both of you like really just stood out. So I was like, I gotta ask them if they would come and talk to me. I talk to y'all all the time, but like in front of a camera. So Jen, I've known you now for whew, 10 years? 10?
Longer than that.
It's longer, yeah.
Okay.
So I met you at Shadow Creek, and that was like 2012.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I was like fresh out of college. So maybe close to 13, 14 years. Yes. You were the property manager. So I was a leasing consultant with the company. Jen, I was already at the property. Jen came in hot. She came in very hot. And I was like, who is this lady?
Myself.
I was like, oh my God, I do not like her. But she can dress, and so yeah, of course, we're here today. I mean, it didn't take long. I fell in love with just who you were, just as a person, your passion, how focused you were and driven you were. And I've learned so much from you. I really feel like you laid like the framework for who I am today in my property management field.
Thank you.
And then I met you, Kandis, and I feel like it's been almost as long, like definitely over a decade. So I guess our field is property management. And in property management, we host like resident events. And so Kandis, you brought in Kandis to help us with our resident events. And then the rest was history. And so this is like a full circle moment.
It is.
Because I was a leasing consultant. Jen was a property manager. I think
This was my first property.
Yeah.
This was my first property.
We had a bad experience with a catering company
Yeah.
for one of our events.
Yeah.
He was not prepared.
Yeah.
And I saw Instagram was like really new at that time.
Brand new, yeah.
Yeah.
And I saw you on Instagram doing a party at another apartment community. I was like, I'm going to reach out to her.
And the rest has been history. She came in the wildest. She did. And what's crazy is like, it's been a decade, right? And you know how things change. But from the moment we met you, I just remember being like, wow.
And I appreciate you ladies for giving me the opportunity because, that's a closed area sometimes. Yeah.
So I want to talk about, it won't be long, but you guys know that I have ventured into entrepreneurship. I've recently launched my own company, Harp Multi-Services, which is concierge in the multifamily aspect, but I'm also a realtor and still a property manager. And so as I am beginning this journey of entrepreneurship, like I've run into some challenges and I've learned some things along the way already, and it hasn't been that long, but wanted to touch base with you guys on what your journey has been like, because both of you are very successful, and I want you guys to introduce essentially what it is that you do from your point of view, but what that looks like. So my first question is, we talked about how we met, but your entrepreneur journey. You start, Kandis.
Okay. Well, I first came into business in the entrepreneurship world, I would say at 5. Look, I had a lemonade stand in the driveway. And it was crazy because that was the first like taste of, wanting to have a business on my own and run my own things. And it just led from there, from selling candy in school and just up to, on the professional side as an adult. And Expensive Taste was created in 2010.
Okay.
And coming in that door, not being a trained chef, was very hard because, I heard people say anybody can buy a chef coat. So I was determined at that point to make myself known and earn my credentials through blood, sweat, and tears, over the stove, and all of that. And so coming in that door in 2010 as an entrepreneur, I was a newborn, like didn't know anything. I grew up with entrepreneurs, grandmother, family, dad, mom, but now it was my turn. And it was my turn in this generation. And so it was learning everything from scratch. It was being able to trust people, build vendor relationships, learning the financial part. Entrepreneurship is not for the weak when it comes to the financial part. There's no consistent check. There's no timeline as to what you will make. And so trusting God and knowing that moving forward in your passion and it's something that you want to do, you just wake up every day and you do it. And so, again, for me, it was definitely trial. It still is. Wake up every day and it's a trial and tribulation as to, okay, what challenge is going to affect me today and how I'm going to maneuver through it. And so I appreciate the challenges. I appreciate the hustle. I appreciate the strength and the energy from those I surround myself with now. Because, like I said, coming in the door, coming into a field that, you want to be there, but you don't necessarily know how to be there.
Yeah.
That definitely plays a factor. But I'm here now. I'm here for the next generation. I'm here to still, live and learn and applaud the older generation for opening the doors that they have opened for us and to continue that cycle. So,
Yeah. Well, thank you. I think it's so many things that I love about you, but one of my favorite is just how encouraging you have been to me and for me. Like even when just running into things that I'm like, I'm not doing this no more. You're like, no, you can do it. Like, and this is what you do next time. And this is and so I think that it's very important to have people like you and you just in my corner. It's such a huge part of my journey.
well, thank you. I appreciate that because, again, like I say, finding that village,
Yeah.
to be able to trust that will steer you in the right direction, it's hard, especially with everybody already being rich and famous on social media. Nobody shows you the hard part. Nobody shows you the true labor factor.
Yeah.
So, I appreciate you for allowing me to, to trust me enough to say, keep going. And this is the route we're going to take next time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, okay, Miss Jan,
Um,
your entrepreneur journey.
My entrepreneur journey is actually very similar to Kandis's because when I was 12, living out in the country, I wanted to make some money. Parents didn't give you money back then.
They
It was
did
like
not.
you get a roof over your head, the bills are paid, you got clothes, you got food.
And
that's it.
Oh, this is my money.
So I was like, what can I do to make some money? And so I started going around knocking on all the neighbors' doors, asking could I mow their yards at 12 years old.
Oh wow.
The problem with that was in the country, everybody's yard is like an acre.
Did you ever ride a lawnmower?
I know.
I had a push more, and I was only charging $10.
Oh.
But nonetheless, I enjoyed having my own money
Yeah.
and not having to ask
Yeah.
my parents for money.
Yeah.
And I think that just carried over into my adult life, even though I did really well in the corporate realm. And I know you can attest to this. we face challenges when we're looking to be in a higher position. And I know I'm capable of doing the job. I know my value. I know what I bring to the table, but I'm still faced with these challenges when I'm looking to grow my career. And I got to the place in my career where I said I was going to stop asking them for the promotion because I have enough skills and enough talent. Let me create my own property management company and let me just try it. If I don't try it now, I will never know what I'm capable of doing. So I took myself from asking for a VP position and I've just made myself the owner of my own company.
Okay. Owner,
So-
CEO. Okay.
It's not as fancy as it sounds, but it feels good. So I've been the owner of Neema Property Management now. We just made 4 years.
Congratulations.
And you know what? It's the best decision I have ever made for myself and my family. Because what it's allowed me to do is to take all those years of experience of working for someone else. I've taken those skills and I've applied it to my own company.
Okay.
Now, the struggles with being an entrepreneur is, like Kandis said,
Which is perfect because that's the next.
no one tells you how hard it is. Because if you listen to social media, everybody is doing well. They're wealthy. They're showboating. They got all these things going on. That's not the real.
Yeah.
My day starts early and it ends very late. I'm not only doing a position of property manager, I'm the face of the company. I'm the marketing director. I'm the IT director. I'm the leasing agent. Even today before I got here, because I have a home that's someone's moving in this weekend, instead of hiring a housekeeper because we have to think about our clients' expenses, I just made myself a sparkle kit, which is something we learned in the property management industry. And I went to go clean the house myself.
Yeah.
So I am doing every role that's necessary in order to keep my company going. And the doors that it's open for me has been endless. I've met some of the most amazing people along this journey, and it's all strangers.
Yeah.
The people who are supporting my business, they're not my family members and they're not my friends, which is fine, but it's the strangers that are out there who need your services.
Yeah.
And then they tell their friends about how well you've done managing their portfolio or whatever the case may be. And so that's kind of how my company has grown and is continuing to grow. But it's not easy because we have our challenges. Obviously, getting capital is something that's very difficult, especially as a woman, a Black woman, especially in this industry. The banks are not just handing out money to you.
Yeah.
They make it very difficult.
Yeah.
But fortunate enough for me, I'm in a position where I've done well again in the corporate realm, where I was able to utilize the monies that I made working, and I was able to use that to invest in myself, and been able to make that money back, and then reinvest it back into my company to continue to grow. So it's a beautiful journey, and I'm looking to expand even more outside of real estate. Because that's the thing about entrepreneurship; it opens your mind up to other ideas. You see a problem in all these other industries, and it's like, man, I think I have a solution for that.
Yeah.
Let me try it out.
Yeah.
And that's the freedom that comes with having entrepreneurship is your day to day. You don't have those same stresses, working. Again, nothing wrong with the 9 to 5, but it's a freedom that you have to think, to be clear, to just kind of throw things out there and see what works for you. If it doesn't, we can try again on something else.
Yeah. Okay, so the next question talks about challenges that you faced along your journey, and we've touched on that a little bit. But one of the things that you just mentioned is what support looks like, and sometimes it doesn't always come from the people that you thought would support you. So me just newly launching my business, what I've run into, I'm doing well as well, still at the very beginning stages, and we are growing. But a lot of the support that I've gotten as well has been externally, and not directly from people that I thought would have been like first runner up. Like, Annique, you have your new business, and how can I help? We need concierge services, or we need a pool attendant, or I thought that would look different than how it actually looks, right? And so the adult in me understands. Like everybody has different things that they're going through as a property manager who has been a property manager, which is a whole nother thing that we'll touch on property management because that's
It's a different
interesting.
beast.
I know like a lot of things happen. But just who I've been in my career, like if I can help, I want to help. I didn't get that response from people I thought I would have gotten that response from. And it kind of set me back emotionally. And, I've learned a long time ago, you taught me, like, you can't be emotional going into business because they don't care. So you do whatever you got to do behind closed doors. But when you step into those rooms, you have to cut that off. And so I've learned that. But it was still like a sting. How do you guys and how have you learned when you are disappointed, I guess, in that realm? How do you quickly,
You want to tackle this first?
bounce back? Because people let you down.
I think it's a little different for me because I went in not expecting the support from those that were closest to me. Like because I'm a realtor as well. Mm-hmm. So when someone doesn't call me when they're looking to purchase a home or to sell their home, I don't get in my feelings.
Yeah.
Because you can choose whatever realtor you want. Mm-hmm. I think because of my experience, I went in with an open mind.
Yeah.
And when I started networking and putting myself out there, I did have some people in the industry. I started off on a podcast, mm-hmm. and that was how someone saw me for the first time. Mm-hmm. That gave me my first rental property to manage. Mm-hmm. But then that person who I didn't know beforehand, she referred me to someone else, and it just grew from there.
Yeah.
But there's going to be disappointments. I mean, that's just not only is part of life, it's definitely a part of business.
Yeah.
And again, the support system, my biggest support system, truthfully, is my partner. Mm-hmm. He sees me cry. He sees me cuss people out after I hang up the phone. Mm-hmm. When he gets home, I'm venting about my day. But he's always telling me, you got this. You were made for this. Mm-hmm. Nobody's better at this than you. Yeah. Just keep going. Yeah. Him and my daughter, because my daughter's my assistant. Mm-hmm. But sometimes we butt heads, so it's a little different. But just having that support from your partner, it helps me to get through the days that are very challenging.
Well, I don't have a partner, okay? And Kandis got a partner too.
Kandis? I can definitely agree with you. When I first started, I expected all of my friends that I supported, mm-hmm. To just fall in place and just to, you trusted me to create an event for you or to cook for you for free. Mm-hmm. Mm. Why is it now that I can't get on your payroll, and things like that? So I took it to heart. I took it to heart until I sat at my daddy's desk. My daddy's desk is like the principal's desk. He gonna tell you if you like it or not, if you love it or not. He gonna hurt your feelings because at the end of the day, it's business. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And he would say, it's almost just like boxing. Get you some Vaseline and let it fly right off. Yeah. And keep it going because it's about $1 at the end of the day, and not creating, relationships in that type of way or bonds in that way, but in a more financial way. Mm-hmm. And so I had to live and learn, I had to stop almost promoting to friends and family and just reach out to strangers, I guess too, in our culture, people that know you more so on a personal side, they tend to relate that to your business mm-hmm. ethics. And, so what, we turned up in Cancun, but trust me, when it's time for this event, I'm going to be there on time before time, and I'm going to be professional. Yeah. And so, you have to kind of disassociate yourself from that mentally and from your heart. Mm-hmm. And just say, I'm here, and what's for me is going to be for me. Mm-hmm. God is planting this seed, and he's going to allow it to grow where it needs to grow. Yeah. And that's it. Like, you can't harp on it. You can't, sit in it and wallow in it because it'll distract you from your creative side, from doing what you need to be doing to expand and grow your business. Yeah. So, but we're women, we're nurturers. when you good people, you expect good people to come to you, you know, especially good people you surround yourself with.
Yeah.
So you just have to dust it off and keep going. Yeah, don't take it to heart. And then when you do make it, say, the price is the price, since you should have got me when I was almost at a discount level. The price is the price. Yeah.
Okay, my next question is imposter syndrome. And have you dealt with it? And how do you overcome it if you have?
I think when I was more in the corporate realm, I experienced that a little bit more because when we would go into these meetings, being the only chocolate person in the room, you know, you're like, man, do I really belong here? Am I good enough?
Yeah.
What if I don't say the right thing?
Yeah.
Hindsight being 2020, we were overqualified.
Yeah.
Now that we know, you not only deserve to be in that space, you really knew more than those people who were in those positions that were over you, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
In my business, when I go to different seminars with other women in real estate, I can feel it a little bit at a time because I've been in real estate, but on the property management side for so long, I'm looking at these much younger men and women who have gotten into real estate and they found their lane and they're doing really well. And I'm like, damn, I've been in real estate all these years. Why did it take me so long to get here? But I understand this is a different generation. They have a different motivation of wanting to.
Marketing looks different.
Marketing is
everything is so different. And we kind of came up in an old school way of, you know, working, and you got to do this and you got to do that for success. Because I don't have any entrepreneurs in my family. So I didn't know what that looked like until I started putting myself out there and meeting other entrepreneurs who are half my age. So just know that, you know, over time you learn that you deserve to be there. And when I start speaking to these young men and women, then I realize I have something that they need because they don't have my experience. They haven't gone through what I've gone through in real estate, especially when it comes to everyone wants to be a landlord now. Okay, so what does that look like for you? Do you know what laws that you need to follow? Do you know what your responsibilities are as a landlord? And a lot of times that answer is no. They just think, I'm just throw a renter in this duplex or whatever the case may be. I'm gonna collect my rent and that's it. But once they start talking to me, they realize that there's a lot more to it than just placing a renter. So you belong in that space. You deserve to be in that space. But it's definitely something I think we all experience at some point or another in our careers where we feel like we weren't good enough. But I learned a long time ago that we're more than a conqueror and that, you know, the battle is not ours. We know who it belongs to. We're going to get there.
All right. And I can agree totally with you, especially being in the kitchen. You know, that's not an open door for a lot of women. And so we battle with that. And then on top of that, being a Black woman, you know, they just think you know how to smother pork chops or you don't know technique, you know, honestly, you know how to fry chicken. And it's just like, wait a minute, you know, and then like I said, you get in those rooms and you realize I have been self-taught and, you know, been educated also too in other places. I know more than you. Why am I intimidated by you? Is it just because of, you know, your skin color? Is it because of your speech? What is it? And then once you find your place, then you kind of start honoring yourself. You're like, no, I deserve to be here. I am here. You know, I can learn something from you. You can learn something from me. This is a balanced field. And you just, you know, you go from there. We've been through so much in life at such a young age, and our parents have, and this and that. You learn to overcome things quickly. As you should, you know, because we're the beginning and we're going to be the end. And that's how I look at it. So, you know, with that, what you do is you find a lane to be able to create a safe space for the next generation coming in. You know, you can allow your energy to be a place where they can be comfortable, and so that they won't have to go through this, you know, imposter syndrome. They don't have to feel it so long and be intimidated by it. So
I think now I'm beginning to step into a space where I am confident in what I know and the journey thus far and what's to come. Also, just recognizing whatever it is, it may be challenging, but I'll get through it. I have the resources. I do know finally who my people are, right? But I never told you this, but the the imposter syndrome was so. I have in real estate, I had been on the buyer side, like my clients were purchasing homes. I had never sold a home. And Jen called me one day and gave me like my first home sale. And it wasn't a $200,000-$300,000 house. This was like like 600. I think we initially had it like listed for like 640. That's huge. What she did, and she was like, her business was booming, and she's like, I have these things going on, and I think it would be good for you to step in because I could give it the attention that particular client that at that time, it just it she. I think I've learned this from you. The integrity in working with people, being transparent. We want people to have stellar experiences. We want them to get the best of what they can get. And so you opened that door for me. And I said yes, but I was scared. I was so scared that I call another realtor within my firm who had killed it, one in the area and just in the market. Like she had sold homes. She's been on both sides and she's been great. And I called her. I was like, hey, I had a deal. And one, you gave it to me. It's you. And so I was like, I can't mess it up. Like I have not visited to these people. We list their house. And I don't want their house to sit on the market for 3 months and no movement. And they be mad at Jennifer and Jennifer's mad at me. And so I was like, I can't mess it up. So let me go to somebody who I know is successful. And even in that conversation, she was like, well, you list it. You'll list it and I can be your co-agent. I was so like, you list it and I'll be your co-agent. Like I really shot myself in the foot. And I was like, I don't know. Like I've never sold a house, that was $600,000. She's like, well, if you sell a $200,000 house, you can sell a $600,000. You can sell a $1 million home. But I really was so like no, I'm not there anymore. I'm not at that place anymore. But one, thank you, because that just speaks to who you are. And I thank God that He has allowed me to meet people like y'all because you didn't have to do it. Like you really didn't. You picked up the phone and called me, and that's a lot of money. And she only asked me, Kandis, to give her back. When we list a house, we pay for photography, we pay for those things. She only asked me to give her what she has spent. And I'm poor, so I ain't got no money, so I did. I just but she did. I'll never forget that. But yeah, I'm not there. I'm not at that space anymore.
good.
Yeah, you deserve to be where you are. And one of the things that I've learned as a business owner, especially in the business that I am in, the business is doing well, it's making money, but it's not at the place where I can afford to hire another me to do some of the work that needs to be done, which is why I work a lot of hours. But what I'm learning over time is I was taking on a lot of projects as the work was coming in and not saying no, or my plate is full. But now I've learned to not over promise because under delivering is not an option for me. So when I see that my plate is full and that person still wants to do business with me in some type of capacity, I always look into my sphere of influence and see who else could benefit from this. Because everything for me in business is not about money. Because I believe when you really do something with pure intentions, it's going to come back to you anyway. And I've been doubly blessed with other things that that came down the line. So I wasn't even thinking about, oh my gosh, I'm giving away a 3% commission of a $600,000 house. Never once crossed my mind.
Yeah.
Because if someone that I know could benefit from it, and you got the experience to list, which I didn't know you never listed a home before.
I'm not gonna tell the people. If you ask me,
I
I'll
know,
list 30 of them.
because one thing I know about you is you're capable and you're trustworthy. I trust you. And so you're the first person I thought of when I was like, you know what? I can't handle this anymore. Plus, they were related to me. It was my cousin.
Mm-hmm.
And her wife was being a little extra with me.
They were nice people.
But it was a nice pass off. And I was really busy. I was more focused on the property management part versus being their listing agent. And it was natural for me to contact you to handle it. And you did. The house sold within less than 30 days.
Yeah.
So
good job.
Good job to you.
Good job.
Thank you. Well, I learned a lot from that. And again, thank you. And now I have listed several at this point. So I needed it. It helped to build the confidence that I have now in that realm. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. How do you celebrate your wins and how do you use them to grow?
I'll tackle that. How do you celebrate your wins? With me, I think celebrating a win is when a client uses your business and refers others. Like, to me, that's a win. When they're your cheerleader and they, promote you and they stand behind you and in front of you, that's a win.
Yeah.
Especially when it's so many other opportunities and choices that they can go with. But that's my trophy.
Yeah.
That's my trophy when that client says, no, you're not going to use nobody with them, like it's their money. Like, no, you're not going to use nobody with them. This is a wedding. This is very important. You're only going to do this once in your life. So that trust factor and all of that, that's my win right there. That's how I celebrate, being in business. Now, on the financial part, how I celebrate is I invest back into my business. Like, going buy a new chafing dish, that's a turn on for me. Being up to date in the latest equipment, having the most upscale equipment so that, we can give that look. And it's expensive taste. So we want that client, we want the client's guests to feel like they're walking into something that is, a brand, a brand label. A long time ago, it was like, oh, you have a business. And then I was like, that's when the brand term was coming to life a lot. And I was like, when the young ladies were having 1-year-old birthday parties and they were spending thousands of dollars for hot dogs and hamburgers, but because of the decor and how we design the hot dog and things like that in the stations,
I don't even know how you do that.
This is a brand, people are spending, because like you say, you can go buy a bottle of water from the store for $1. You can go to Kroger's and pay $5, and you can go to the airport and pay $18. Where you're actually, it's location and brand. And so I started focusing on being a brand, being a household name. And I wanted to be the LV. I wanted to be the Chanel of, the catering in the industry. For our culture, I saw it everywhere else, when I worked before becoming an entrepreneur, when I was at the Petroleum Club and all of these high-end places and restaurants. And I was like, I want to do this for us. I want us to have this experience. And so that, like I say, that's how I celebrate. Being able to have this for our culture and we have the experience. And then also to bring the talent, not just myself, but when I'm able to introduce other talent, because it's a lot of talent in this industry that's hidden because people just don't have the opportunities or they don't have the connections, And so me bringing in on a younger chef, me bringing in someone else who was once just a home cook, and now, they've transformed themselves into, a whole culinary experience. That's a win for me. That's how I celebrate. Like I say, but again, going to get some, chafers and nice equipment and being able to take my staff out to 5-star restaurants and let them sit back for once and be treated well.
Yeah.
That's how I celebrate.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Jenny?
I celebrate the same way she does. It really is the same. When we have a great month and there's a excess of cash, I put it right back into the business. I'm always looking at systems. With property management, I want the experience to be great for our potential residents from start to finish and throughout the duration of them staying with us. I mimic in the single family home realm, I mimic exactly what multifamily is doing because I was so accustomed to the way apartment communities ran.
Yeah.
Bringing that over into single family homes have been a win for me because that's what was missing.
Yeah.
So I'm always reinvesting back into my company when I'm having those really great months.
Yeah.
Now, on a personal level, the way I celebrate, I'm the same way. I want to go out and I want to celebrate. I only have one team member, which is my daughter. I don't have a full staff yet, but we'll go out and we'll just have fun.
Yeah.
Not because it's in property management, we deal with people all day.
Yeah.
So it's very draining and you're exhausted by the end of the day.
Yeah.
So it's a great thing when I'm able to take her out or to even just give her what she asked for. Sometimes I just want cash.
Yeah.
But to be able to do that, just makes me feel great about what I'm doing and why I'm doing it.
Yeah. Okay. So we are going to wrap up, but I want to close with here's my card. The biggest lesson that you've learned, your biggest takeaway. And if you were speaking to new entrepreneurs, one like myself, what would you say or what advice would you give as they begin their journey?
I would say learn the financial. Investigate, do your homework in the financial part. Yeah. Educate yourself as much as you can on the investments, liabilities, things like that, because they'll definitely help you going into the future as to how to plan financially for certain things and aspects of the company or the business that you want to be in. Because me, honestly, like I say, I was just in it, just making money off an invoice, not knowing what needed to be put back into the company. I was just trying to make sure I made payroll and had money for the next event. Yeah. And that can be stressful. So not just, learning your gift and your talent, but learning the financial part behind it and in front of it. Like I would tell that to any entrepreneur. Learn the financial part, create a savings, create an investment savings so that your savings can make some more savings for those days when it's slow. You won't be so stressed, but learn the financial part of the game you want to play.
Okay.
So.
Sidebar, I got a bill from the IRS and I was like, wait, what? I paid it. I paid it. Yeah, that's big.
It's a different type of comfort, and it doesn't pile on top of the stress that you're already going through.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people like myself, I can be honest, learn it late in the game.
Yeah.
And but now it's peace. I mean, the blood pressure is 180. Before it was stressful, because a lot of times being an entrepreneur, you have, besides yourself, you have others that you have to take care of. Yeah. And people think sometimes because you might not have any children, oh, they're successful, not knowing that I have a mother I'm taking care of at home, that's retired. And I have a staff that, family members, which don't hire family members. That's another thing. Don't. When you first start off, yes. But when you can, branch out because that's a side note too. You tend to have a connection with them. Yeah. And so it's harder to maneuver and do things on a business mentality. But going back to what I was saying, you have the relief of learning how for your money to make money, and then knowing what you can, what you might transpire and come into. Like I say, the IRS.
Yeah.
You know, if I would have known back in the day the different taxes and how to, be with the right tax person and all this here, I would have had that. So, by not educating myself sooner, I ran into some walls. I ran into some brick walls, but I was able to tear the brick walls down and go from there.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, she really is speaking the truth. Because we really do. We get caught up just doing our work and doing the job. And I'm just now learning that coming out of property management where we are paid to do financials for our investors. And I'm doing that for my investors. But when it came to my own business, I'm just making money and letting the money come in, not necessarily knowing where all the money is going outside. I'm paying my personal bills. I have business bills. But now as things are starting to balance out, you learn to have the savings, the backup savings to the savings,
right?
Multiple checking accounts, business checking accounts. You have your personal checking accounts. I've done some investments within the last year so that the money that I'm making can start working for me. So you just learn all these things again, because we didn't have a blueprint. No one has told us how to run our own business. All we know how to do is work for other people. But definitely invest in a great tax person. Get you a CPA. I'm still actually looking for a CPA. So if you know someone, send them my way.
I will.
Because even for my bookkeeping for this last year, I just paid someone because I hadn't reconciled my receipts since last September. Just working. Just working. So you definitely need to pay attention to the business part of your business when you become an entrepreneur, especially at the beginning. Don't wait 3-4 years into your business to get all your stuff together. If you can learn to do that from the beginning, it's going to be very helpful. And then also knowing when you have the right tax person, they're going to give you the right strategy based on your business to make sure that you're filing correctly. So, that's the lessons we've learned. And there's so many other lessons.
I know, it's so much. I know
we
could talk for
all day.
Hours.
That there
about
itself
this.
is a complete podcast on our culture and taxes and business taxes, because our parents hand us the gifts, and things like that, and then our friends and our mentors hand us the business, but the financials that back it, can make us or break us in the end. So luckily, like I said, I ran into a person, and she's from in California, I ran into someone that I was able to, be able to get me back on track financially, because here it is, you have all this longevity in years, but no success to it because the IRS or the Harris County is here to take it all. So, and it's just the lack of not knowing, and then like you say, getting busy. You're busy. My thing is, are my dinner rolls and biscuits rising? Not did I pay my quarterly taxes? So we deal with that.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all so much. And I know we'll probably sit down and do this again. But thank you guys for believing in me and contributing to my journey. I really appreciate it. I'm still trying to figure out, what else is next and how to continue to grow the business. So having people like you in my corner has truly made the world of a difference for me. So I'm truly thankful. So thank y'all so much.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
And good sitting in the room with you ladies again.
I know.
12, 15 years.
Full circle. Full circle. Like I don't know that back then I thought that I would be here. Right. So I'm genuinely grateful for it. Sometimes we think about like what's next and, how do we get to the next level, and, we've accomplished this, we've checked this box, what's the next box? But we don't oftentimes, well, I don't, I'm learning to truly like just sit back and realize like you've done a lot, like you've done well. Like if this were it, like I think we've all done like damn good. So I'm proud of y'all. Thank y'all for all you do for me. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.